Going live. Remind me not to get distracted, actually, checking the comments section and stuffing a sandwich into my face while I'm waiting for the time for the stream to start, because it creeps up on you very quickly. You'll be delighted to know the stream's getting off to a very bad start because I'm drinking wine already. That usually means the conversation is going to go in very random directions and maybe rude. I apologise for that in advance. Who is here? Zap Sparky is here, Kusamo Mart, Zebo the Fat, Serious Zem, Boot Panic. Oh, do you know what? I didn't even. This is how badly organised I am. There's no Jaeger minions. One moment, please. I'll just pretend that I'm all fully organised and I'll just turn my back to the camera momentarily while I just fill up the glasses. No, I'll just turn around forward and do it. I mean, the secret's out. I'm disorganised. Oh, blimey. That's a good one. That's a very generous portion. It's Jaeger Munions, but it's actually Fireball. Cinnamon-themed whiskey-flavoured drink. There we go. Right. I think we're ready to start. I'll just pop this back through. I've got out in 45 minutes. I'm going to miss all the fizzy wine rants. Well, you can always look at them later, Boobla, if it doesn't get taken down. Ads for pecker pills, really? I mean, isn't it big enough? Let's do the sterilisation. I've got other things, though. Hold on. I mean, if we want to sterilise, other sterilising apparatus has arrived. Interesting stuff. That's leftovers from pandemic peak marketing. But scanning with ultraviolet light for your pleasurement. Scanning. And I shall just make sure I'm sterile too. I did catch something when I was in Glasgow, but that's inevitable. I flew over, got on the airport bus to Glasgow from Edinburgh, and the person that sat directly in front of me was the only person sneezing in the whole bus. I did actually consider moving at one point. To Glasgow. To Glasgow for just being such a crazy Victorian Gotham city. It's great. I do like Glasgow. Particularly when you go off the beaten track and you start going into industrial bits. It's interesting. Palmady boot sale, for instance. It's not actually a car boot sale, but it's a permanent thing in an old industrial building, and it's very bizarre. And you can't actually see what they're selling because it's just like it's my house. It's just huge mounds of stuff everywhere. And it's just basically people standing next to their hoard and selling bits off the top. Have you heard there's a new strain flu called Subclade K? Not heard of that. Now I can actually see if everything's going okay. Glasgow gave me more than it ever took away. I like Glasgow. It's got its dark side, but I like it. I ended up, because they've changed the flight times from a late flight, which was so relaxed, just have a wee sleep in, then get your stuff together and close up and head in on the train and get through to Edinburgh. Plenty of time. I actually had to leave the house at the back of 4. Got up at 3, leave the house at the back of 4 in the morning, and get the 4:50, the first bus through to Glasgow. Walk through the abandoned streets of Glasgow to McDonald's, have a breakfast, walk to the bus station, get the bus route, and got to Edinburgh far too early. The mic is in frame. Excellent. X for maximum visibility. Hold on, I'll just use the retractor mic feature. There we go. No Glasgow internet issues. Oh, not now, but honestly. Do you know, I wish the second stream had maybe, if I'd known it was going to be so bad, because I did the Patreon stream on YouTube on the Thursday and it was fine. Maybe Saturday's just a bad night to do it because everybody's off work or something like that, or they're not going to work the next day and they're on the internet instead. Maybe, oh, goodness knows. But I might try it from the other side. Shotgun mic. It's not a shotgun mic, no. Don't break the audio, it sounds fucking awesome. Would you like to see the microphone? Hold on. I shall bring it back down again into view. It's not that exciting. That's the microphone, just hanging just above the head. I'll just tuck that back in. It tends to go at different heights depending on which microphone it is, because it's not the microphone I use on YouTube, because bizarrely, the same phone, the YouTube app, has lower gain on the microphone than the Twitch app. The Twitch app has much higher gain, which is why it was distorting last week when it sounded great in the YouTube. What model is it? It sounds great. It's generic model, but keep in mind that I've got acoustic foam here, which was freaky when I first put it in, because it just removed all the echo. But also I've got a very bassy voice, ultimate bass. Looking forward to visiting Gotham again this year, but boy, the hotels are expensive, Grey Matter. It depends where you go to. There are the Euro Hostel and places like that. It depends. Don't know. But it is a generic microphone. For the YouTube, I use a custom modified microphone, if I remember correctly. Super high gain. It's just this little thing that plugs into the same socket. Little cable tie holding the muff onto it. It's worth experimenting with audio. Stream not freezing like last week. Well, Exibo93. Last week it was coming at you via the 4G and 5G network. This time it's the fibre optic network, which isn't so bad. Any new tech tat? Oh, is there never any not new tech tat? It's just tons of stuff. Eurohostel shut down last year. Oh, didn't know that. Union Hospital, maybe. What is the black figure on top of the soda? That is Farting Ninja. That is the Farting Ninja. Why is it called the Farting Ninja? That's why. It has a light sensor, and when it detects disturbance in the vicinity, it makes farting noises. We had too many of them at the Embrit 2 this year, dotted around all over the place. Bass, 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 ultimate bass. How low can you go? How low can you go? And knockoff synths? What? You have the kind of voice I can fall asleep to, so I have a load of your streams from a few years ago in an MP3 player. Kagius, can I suggest that for maximum sleep induction, that you look at my unbagging streams, because people have said that some people hate them, but the majority say they love the crinkly noises and the voice just talking about stuff, and the problem is they can't stay awake, they just conk out. That's good. Did you bag any goodies in Lidl or Aldi? I did get something from Lidl. I got the magnetic component trays for a start, and a couple of the stepped core cutters, the cone drills. But I also got, hold on. I also got this, and a hairdryer, part of which has been, the hairdryer has been taken apart. It was so destructive. It was not designed to be disassembled. It's one of those videos that it was clear that it was not going back together again, but once you've opened it, and you'll see that video in the future because it's not finished yet, I took it apart so I could bring this small bit inside the ionizer module out of it, and then bring it over to the Isle of Man and finish the video here, but it's going to need depotted out of resin. But this is not a hairdryer. This is a garment steamer. It's a travel garment steamer, so that if you're traveling, you can just basically hinge open and just steam all your clothes. Why would you do that? Maybe steam the beard, I'm not really sure. But it's heavy, even with no water in it. It's not the sort of thing you'd want in your luggage. I'm not sure why you'd do that. But anyway, I've got a sneaky feeling it's going to be a little smoke machine inside effectively, but lower temperature. Ah. Oh, Alicop resubscribed. Thank you for resubscribing. And Stinkimo resubscribed. Thank you. I once took a 2600 game console apart and put it back together to find around 5 screws left over. That happens. If it works, they're just excess. What do we think of Look Mum No Computer representing UK in Eurovision? I thought that was a joke at first. Is he really going to be representing the UK in Eurovision? That'll be fun. I don't iron my boiler suits. There's no point, Brad Robshaw. Boiler suits are not designed to be ironed. I don't get these. And you get those work trousers with the sewn-in crease in the front. They basically pinch the material, put a sewn line along it so it's always sharp and creased and very presentable looking when you go and do maintenance. But it's under your knee and it hurts your knee. It's just like form before function. I'll put my steamer through. Oh, this comes off and it's the little water reservoir in the back for water, for steaming. Does it have other uses? Goodness knows. What's it going to be like inside? Goodness knows. I guess it was one way to find out. I got another set of scales. These ones very clearly have a sub-chassis inside and the feet are isolated and it's the feet that are the weighing device, but I get the feeling there's a metal plate inside that these feet are on. We'll find out again when we open it. It's very low profile and there is no obvious thing. It's not like there's an isolated platform. It clearly is just the feet that are the actual weighing section. Each foot could potentially have its own strain gauge sensor, but I very much doubt it. It was a cheap one out of Asda. Before or after you stood in it, you know what? I have stood in scales before and they've made a loud crunch noise and never worked again. Horovac, it's more likely it's not just the heating element. There's a pump in it, a little solenoid pump, and the heating element will have the aluminium block moulded around it, or the alloy block rolled around it, just like smoke machines do, and that gets quite heavy. Plaza is 6th to 8th of September. I've not been at Plaza in ages. I used to go every year. Right after I used to finish in the tattoo and travel to Plaza, then back home. Of course, no, this is before the Isle of Man stuff, isn't it? Dunno. And then over to Isle of Man. Oh, goodness knows. That was a long time ago. Are you drinking pee? No, it's wine. Chipmunk says, I have some proper parcel scales from my eBay days, up to 300 kilograms. That's heavy. RS232 output. I used to use generic scales for that, and they were pretty accurate. I'm surprised how accurate they were compared to the post office scales. I wrote the weight on it, the package, and put them in the scales and just checked. Sometimes, locally, they'd have things leaning against the scales and they were just not measuring correctly. I would raise that politely. Techbone did another video lava lamps, indeed. Some weren't too bad except the pricing. They're Matmos, they're expensive. The little candle-powered one he's got this time, I had one of those. I've still got the frame, not got the bottle, because I put a bigger candle under it, still a tea light, but it's a longer burn time, and the bottle just burst, and it just suddenly, there's wax everywhere. But yeah, his big, huge lava lamp was nice, and the futuristic one was quite nice too, but Matmos is expensive. It's made in the UK, and it's a statusy type thing. My solution was to buy a used post office scale. That's reasonable enough. Explains the 4-hour limit. Yes, to a degree. Also choosing the right type of candles, because I think that ended up burning a much bigger flame than normal. You can buy genuine lava lamps at Walmart for cheap, China North Airguns. The lava lamps you're buying at Walmart are the Lava brand ones, and they're made in China now. Boo. Jesus, 15 minutes to log in. GNM. Really? That's odd. My dad wouldn't let me have a lava lamp when I was a kid. He said they were just full of vomit. He didn't like them. I liked them. Peter Stevens says, it's my 50th today, perhaps some AliExpress shopping. I give you permission to go and buy stuff on AliExpress for your birthday, yes. Especially as it's 50, that's symbolic. But keep in mind that it is the Chinese New Year at the moment, so there might be a delay in your shipment because it doesn't end till about 2 weeks' time. In Canada, they use wax wicks with sawdust as fire lighters. That does work. I made a video where I soaked ginger snaps. They're a biscuit, a hard, gingery biscuit. I soaked them in paraffin and they burnt for ages. They were very good as fire lighters. The Happy Little Fox, you are orange. Well, brownie orange today. My lava lamp is laving right now. Mine's heating up. One moment. Did I make a video about this? This one's got rust all over it. But this is my... maybe I've been inspired. There is a candle in it. This is my candle-powered lava lamp. It's a £16 lava lamp off eBay, but dremeled out and folded in. The bottom flap has been folded in here, holes drilled round, and now it runs off candles for quite some time. Keep in mind, it's designed to have a 30-watt lamp in it, and a tea light gives off roughly 30 watts of heat. I shall put this back through before I end spilling wax everywhere. More wine. My PC died. Oh no. It happens. Maybe it's a good idea for it to die. You can get yourself a Linux computer now. In Drora Fox, I once saw a YouTube short that functionally taught people how to make cotton infused with napalm in a toothpaste tube. Lots of dodgy videos. There's one guy puts up lots of really... You almost wonder if he's doing it deliberately to give YouTube a bad name, but showing how to make nitroglycerine and stuff like that. I'm not keen on stuff like that. Oh no, Mr. Eggcake, my laptop survived a cider tidal wave. That is terrible. I've done that in the past. Wine and cider knocked over the laptop. It's a Chromebook now, but I'm not sure how easy it'd be to change keyboard. Some of the keyboards on the PC laptops, you've got a couple of little clips at the top that you can do without actually opening a laptop at all. You undo the clips and the keyboard hinges up. You unplug the ribbon cable, wash the keyboard, or just put a new keyboard in, plug the ribbon cable in, hinge it down, it clicks in, and the keyboard's changed. Nothing like Apple. Greetings back to South Wales, Sparky Projects. Chromebook Plus is hardy. Yeah, this is a Chromebook Plus. It's got that extra speed advantage. It is better. I do recommend if you're getting a Chromebook Plus, and you can run Linux on it in a sandboxed area. Nay Smith says, I wasn't going to mention my birthday, but I'm in good company here. Well, how many people are watching at the moment? 464. Technically speaking, it's at least one person's birthday. Lenovo T-Series ThinkPads have keyboard drain holes in the bottom. Well, that's quite good. But yeah, definitely the Chromebooks are good. Go for a spicier one, a Chromebook Plus, because it's a bit more expensive, but it's got extra speed and power. I would not try nitroglycerine. It's dangerous stuff, too risky. In the early days, Simon Salon, in the early days of looking at the internet, I did find technical forums talking about nitroglycerine, and there was a kid saying, "Hi, I've made some nitroglycerine. It's in my mum's fridge, but how do I get rid of it now?" And it's like, oh God. Imagine that going off while mum was saying, "What's this?" Terrible. You can't just pour it down the sink. Once you've made it, you've got an unstable explosive stuff in a glass jar usually, which is even worse. Apparently there is a Windows emulator app for Linux. Arion Llewellyn. There's multiple ones, notably Wine. Wine is not an emulator, but it is. Anarchist Cookbook. I downloaded that in the past. It was rubbish. Seriously, it's all the things you shouldn't do. It was just made up by clueless twats. Wine is not an emulator, indeed. I get the feeling it was probably Win emulator, but then they just got in trouble and said wine is not an emulator. I worked in a pharmaceutical lab with nitroglycerine, Z with the Fat says. We dripped onto metal hot plates, fun times. It's taken as a medicine for angina, I think. Is that right? Recursive acronyms are fun. It is quite funny, the fact that wine names itself in its own acronym. Anarchist Cookbook, Goatsy and Lemon Party, all things that aren't as good as David Cameron told us. Ah, Brian Cox. For heart conditions, indeed. High blood pressure. Vagina, no. Megavolt, you don't want to put nitroglycerine in your vagina, no. Really, the original Jolly Rogers cookbook, says Gonzo, was mostly derived from a US Special Forces handbook, which you can buy in shops in the US. It's just it would say, how to make napalm. Get some gasoline and dissolve as much polystyrene in it as you can and then throw it at people. And it's like, that's not how it works. How did Scruff put it? Save cows. Eat a vegan. Yes. Frost giant. Nitro equal instant migraine. Really? Particularly if it detonates. Wine is interesting. It hijacks Win32 API calls. Dunno. Yes, let's not talk about the royals. Anyway, let's take something apart. Let me go and grab a screwdriver. While I was in Glasgow, I ordered 2 air sterile units for sterilising air. Not particularly cheap, even second hand. This one was about £50, right? And it doesn't work. There's a reason it doesn't work. Let me open it. This is one of these pandemic-y type things, and you're supposed to change the UVC tube in it every year. Do you think it's ever had the tube changed in it? Because I see all these post-pandemic scenarios that you see a lot of equipment that was installed during the pandemic to facilitate people going shopping and stuff like that, but it's just still there, neglected, in an unknown electrical state. The cover comes off. And it reveals a UVC tube, a ballast for the tube, and then a little enclosure inside so that none of the light can leak out. But, so you can see it's actually working, there is a little window here that light can shine through just through a little slot, just to make it sort of glow blue to show you that it is working. I suppose they could have used something like fluorescent. This tube in here is surrounded. This relies on thermal convection. The way they're mounted, it looks as though the ballast's at the top. I thought they'd have the ballast at the bottom. But anyway, no, this one is. The ballast is at the bottom in this one. So it's thermal convection. So the heat from the ballast and the tube causes air to flow through the unit, and it just creates a continuous flow of air. And it releases, they claim it releases hydroxyl radicals. It sterilizes anything that goes through this, gets sterilized because it is a UVC tube. Interesting things. It's a very odd base. It's like another base that is bigger. This is crumbling just because it's been exposed to its own UVC. The electrodes are absolutely smoked. It's basically the tube's dead, but it's a very small base that I could find these tubes on AliExpress at a very high cost, or even from RS Components, but they're not a standard tube. They're not the one with the little 2-pin, the little bit that dips down with the capacitor or starter in it. Also note, there's a seam. See how the glass changes? See how it also has degraded in there with the ultraviolet has actually caused it to frost. But notice how there's a little joint in this, which is unusual for it to be in that position. There is also a reason for this. Sound's gone. Oh, yeah, you're going to have to refresh. Hold on. Refresh page to restore sound. There we go. But anyway, yes, notice it's got the welded bit here, right? And either side of it are baffles, 3 little baffles here. It's got the aluminium housing, because the aluminium protects itself against UVC because it creates its own oxide coating. But these little white panels are actually coated in titanium dioxide, and when they do a photocatalytic thing, they're stimulated by the UV, and they convert any moisture in the air and other things, they convert it to hydroxyl radicals, which have a very short lifespan. And I was looking up, how do you test for hydroxyl radicals? And there's a couple of tests. You can, they'll cause a certain material to glow, but this UVC tube would probably also cause it to glow. And also, they last for such short time, they're kind of only active as it's going through it. The other way to test it was by bubbling it through methylene blue and see if the colour gets bleached out. But having said that, probably the UVC itself in the vicinity is going to bleach stuff out. But this tube's dead. I'll have to get a new tube for this if I want to use it, and it doesn't look that standard down here to actually just put a different base in it. But we'll see what happens. I'll put this out the way now. Very simple. Oh, also, the ballast in here, if you type in UVC ballast on AliExpress, that's the ballast you find. And try to catch free radicals, indeed. Hydroxyl radical is a molecule composed of basically one atom of oxygen, one of hydrogen. It's quite reactive. It's not ozone, but it has similar functionality. I thought hydroxyl radicals are a pop group from Liverpool. It could well have been. Unless you tied that to someone's neck, it wouldn't clean much air. It has deodorizing. It creates a very slow, continuous airflow through. It's designed for places like bathrooms. But the other version I got is this one. It's got a little cloverleaf plug facility and a little on-off switch. And this one does have, it's got a mains fan in it. Now, I'll open this one. This one also looks like it's never ever had its tube changed. What a surprise. What's the time, says Liz. It is time for fire. Hold on. I'll get the fire equipment up. it's going to be this one again, but the ignition device is going to be different. The ignition device is going to be this. Right, let's have a woofle. I shall go down low. I shall try and get it in a suitable position for woofling. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's quite good. Scruff dogs there. That was fairly ferocious, yes. It sounded good. This I'll feature in a video actually, an unbagging video, because it just arrived with an order from AliExpress. It's got that red flame because it's got a little catalytic thing in the end that burns and imparts salts to it. Forwards to the camera, no. Although this foam is flame proof or flame self-extinguishing, this is fuel, so that's not a great idea. Anyway, where was I? I was taking the lid off something. Next screw, please. That is the engine from the Saturn V. I was thinking it looked like a... I've just dropped a screw. Darn it. But not to worry. I was thinking it looked like a sonic screwdriver. Where did that go? That just shot somewhere. Okay, maybe I'll take more care. No, I won't. So let's get the other one off, see if you recognise the tube in here. Noting that the UVC tubes you put in these are not the ozone generating ones. They only put out 254 nanometer and the other visual wavelengths, but they don't put out the 184 nanometer. They're deliberately not doing that because otherwise the place would be stinking of ozone and it would just be a bit too much. So that's the screws out. Cover comes off. That is part of the UVC baffle, and there's the little the filter in it that has gone dark, but it's the bit that glows blue. And inside we have another of those little ballasts at the bottom, and we've got a much bigger UVC tube going into a little cap at the end, and then we get the mains powered fan. Where's the wiring for that? Where have they tucked the wiring for that? Oh, there's a channel up underneath that in the middle, and there's the wires going up to it. Okay, gotcha. A channel that they've got screws going into. Lovely. Anyway, to take the tube out of this one, it's very frustrating. You have to remove a little thumb screw. I think it's because this acts as a UVC baffle as well, and that has the little plate like that, and then you've got to try and get the lamp out. And it is a 18 watt, I believe. EST18, 9.5 milligram. I don't know what they mean by 9.5 milligram. But notice that this one also has that little seam in it. Do you see the little seam there? And this one looks very new. It looks almost like it's never really been used that much. That's odd. I wonder what it's... Well, I've got a UVC tester. I could test that. I'd have to clean it now anyway that I've taken it out. But this is a standard non-ozone 254 nanometer UVC tube with a very standard end on it. And there are the photocatalytic hydroxyl radical converter plates that you can't really prove if they do anything or not. But at least this one uses a standard base. And you can see where the ultraviolet light has leaked around because it's discoloured the plastics and made them go textured. Interesting. At the top it's got little metal clips here that support the tube without actually letting it touch anything too sharp. And then it's got the baffle here that the end goes into to allow it to go up and then in and down. And that also blocks the ultraviolet from going against the fan. You'd have thought they might use a little 12 volt power supply and a computer style fan, but they've used just a 240 volt fan in this. Interesting. I think I prefer the fan assisted unit. I shall put all these screws and tubes and things out the way here and then put them all back together later on. How's that end different from the other one? Oh, right, okay. So talking the other one, it's the same style, but this one is much bigger. This is a standard size. I think it's 11 millimeters between each of the pins. The other one is 7 millimeters. It's quite an odd size. I did find the number. Let me grab the number. So this is a standard, fairly common PLL with the 2G11 base. The other one was an 8 watt UVC and it had a 2G7. And if you measure between the pins, the other one was 7 millimeters between the pins. So I'd guess that these ones are going to be 11 millimeters as well. And the G23 is a 2-pin version, which I don't know if I could fit one of the sockets in that because it's much more readily available because they're sold for aquarium use. How to find the distance between two pins. Measure the pin, right, which is 2.5 millimeters diameter, and zero it out on that, and then go between the outer of the two pins, and you get 11 millimeters. 10.9, that'll do. So it is the distance between the centers of the pins. And make sure when you've done that you zero it out again before taking any further measurements. Oh, right, okay. So see this seam? If you look at normal UVC tubes, it doesn't have this little seam, and you think, why do they have it then? Well, it's because it's where they splice the tube during the manufacturing process, and they probably got these tubes cheaper because they were not quite perfect. So these products are just basically using cheap products and possibly what you might call seconds, which is odd for such an expensive product. Should I mention that when I'm making their video? I won't show you that lit now because that would irradiate me with huge quantities of UVC and that would be very unpleasant. Haggis are lovely. It's a seam for cheaper tubes, it is. That's a brilliant hack for measuring centres, it is, absolutely, it's very handy. Good morning to Melbourne, Australia, Zen List. Is that quartz tubing? Yes, although it could also be called UVL tubing, which has the same function. Should I have more wine or should I go straight to the energy drink? More wine, I think. Hold on. I decanted my large container of apricot wine, non-carbonated apricot, because one of them was carbonated, but I drank that one. Do your glasses block UV light? Yes, they do. Mine have a coating to block out UV and IR. I can show you something that's really interesting because I've got new glasses. Let me grab an ultraviolet light and my new glasses. I'll show you the other pair of new glasses that I thought were going to be thin glass, but they're really not. Two new pairs of glasses. These are the bifocals. Okay, so let me get an ultraviolet light. And I'll put it here in front of the beard, right, or in front of the face, and I'll shine the ultraviolet light through it, right? Nothing major happening. You're seeing some visible light coming through, but these are photochromic, but this is from the back. Watch what happens when I shine it from the front. See how it's gone dark? Because these are reacting to the ultraviolet light to actually darken them in normal daylight. But if you shine it from the back, it doesn't really activate them. So there is a anti-ultraviolet coating in this. Interesting. And the other pair of glasses Seriously, these are the anti-reflect. These are the ones I should be wearing at the moment, but look how thick the lenses are. They're milk bottle bottoms. I think I'd have to get used to these. Does the anti-reflection, it does kind of work, doesn't it? Hold on, over to the other ones. Yeah, that's much brighter, isn't it? When I look at the light. These are just steaming up because I've not had them on. They keep getting darker in the wan sunlight when you don't want them. Yes. I just did that and mine went black from both sides. Really? It's not got the filter. Scruff Dog Live. Last night, a few of us were watching the NBC stream and Kev first gave out his number. Ah, that stream. Oh, yes. We try and forget that stream. The first video to get deleted from YouTube by me, because it was just a bit too much. Yes. Amusing, but drinking methylated spirits and putting on Gary Glitter eyebrows just isn't really the thing, is it? Legally, all prescription glasses must have a UV coating. Yeah, but they try and upsell you by saying it's an optional extra. And to be honest, at this point in time, these are, I've not got used to wearing these yet, so I'm going to switch over to other ones because they are not great to wear yet. That's better. But I'm getting sick of their upselling at Specsavers. They do really good eye tests. They offer for an extra tenner, they'll do a laser scan of the back of your eye and it maps the back of your eye out and creates a 3D image and they can add it to your files. But the upselling, when you go to the range of frames and it goes from about £30 to £500 and yet it's all just frames and you can't really tell, and they keep saying, oh, what about this one? That would look really just like the one you've picked from the cheap frames, but this one is slightly different but looks flimsier. Would you like this one for 10 times the price? And it's like, no, I get the feeling they're on commission. It's unpleasant. Anyone got a link to that stream? No, I'm sorry, it's only for very secret viewings. Have you always worn glasses? Yes, I have. You pay a fortune getting thinner, you'd expect them to use that tech now. Just standard high refractive plastic. Why would they charge more for it? Why don't they just put... So I'm going to be going back to Glasses Direct, an online seller, and just use the prescription because I think they're just being too greedy. But it's the first time I've had the Reactolite ones in a while. Mouse says, I stopped going to Specsavers because the hard sell upselling attitude. It's unpleasant now. It didn't used to be like that. Maybe someone should tell them. Get eye test and order the glasses online, indeed. Copies do exist in private hands. They have been archived in places, but I don't know where they are, he lied. But sometimes there are viewing parties. Dirty Paws done with Specsavers. I think they're shooting themselves in the foot by doing this. Vision Express the same. I only used Vision Express once. It was a terrible experience. They made the glasses completely wrong to the point they were unusable. I couldn't see through them. And then the obnoxious saleswoman wanted to charge me for another eye test, which I ended up paying. And then the optician said, they're just completely wrong. And they grudgingly made me a new pair. It's like, for fuck's sake. Terrible. Never used them. And Optical Express, where I looked at, they had the LASIK eye surgery. I thought that could be interesting, from about £400. And that was per eye before they'd upsold it. And it was a horrible thing. There was this salesman came in and he kept whispering to the person who was doing the eye test, and her voice was shaky as she tried upselling me all the way through it. And then after they put anaesthetic in the eyes, they said, you won't be able to see much for a while. We're going to have to take care going home. No driving and all that. Would you like to sign this document now without being able to read it? No. Optical Express, goodbye. That was it. That was me sitting in a seat with them standing on the other side blocking my way out as they upsold it. The salesman was a little douchebag in a business suit with a bright orange sunbed face. Horrible experience. Never went back. Waiver. I think it was a waiver of responsibility, Palace Chat. I read it later on because I took it with me. And it said, this could blind you, basically. And it's like, okay, lovely. Yeah, gouging, it's so odd. Strange. I don't know, is this a standard thing? When I go to Specsavers, the optician says, can you read that line, top line? Yep. Can you read the middle line? Yep. Can you read the bottom line? And yep, yeah, no problem. And she goes to the smaller ones and she says, how far can you read down that? And I'd say I can read the bottom line again. And they always say, you've got better than 20/20 vision. It's actually quite good, actually, for your age as such. Is that normal? I don't know. Maybe it's, don't know. Specsavers have somehow negotiated an exclusive contract with DVLA for age-related driving licence eye tests. Ah. Do you drink English breakfast tea, Clive? I have English breakfast tea, but I don't usually have decaf coffee in the morning. Greetings back to Sherwood Forest, Spider Driver Lee. They said that to me as well. Ah, Mouse. Either we've got great vision or it's just a standard thing they say. They're upselling the frames because they earn almost nothing on glasses, but frames get big margins because they're essentially worthless. Yes. But I was talking about this with Ralph because I looked up online. I did a search to see. We used to get my mum's glasses from an online seller just because she broke so many pairs. So we just got loads of the same frame that fitted and she liked. And then we just, when she broke them, we stripped them for spares. But that was good. I used to get them there as well. Do they pat you in the head? They do, mister. They pat you on your bottom as you go out. Opinion on log burners and smokeless zones. I wish they wouldn't. It's the people who use log burners. The Isle of Man, we've got a lot of log burners here because there's a lot of wood here and because fuel is very expensive. So a lot of people have log burners and they're trying to clamp it down. I get the feeling the reason they're trying to clamp it down is so they can sell more oil and electricity, really, fundamentally. I don't think it's anything to save the planet. There's a lot of net zero green marketing going on in the Isle of Man, where they're selling useless solar systems and useless heat pumps, which they're mis-selling them and not explaining the complications of a heat pump isn't quite as easy for ongoing maintenance, particularly when it's installed by labourers. That was a rant. Do you have much wood there? Lots of wood, the bit banger. The Isle of Man is just solid trees, and I've always got wood. Heat pumps are getting classically missold. It's like solar power. They're at their most efficient in warmer weather. Maybe they're better for cooling than heating, but I get mad about the solar systems, and they come on every time the sunshine really kicks in, and because we do get a little burst of sun in summer here, that's when the solar people say, Oh, you want solar panels? Look how well they're doing at the moment. How are they doing right now? Oh, you're getting fuck all out your solar panel right now. See, that's the wine talk now, isn't it? And then they come on and say, well, mine generated 8 kilowatts all week. And what do you mean 8 kilowatts all week? Do you mean 8 kilowatts all day for the whole week? No, 8 kilowatt hours for the whole week. 1 unit of electricity a day. Ooh, if you save up for a few weeks, you might be able to get a freaking latte. James Abanda, all the frames typically come from one Italian supplier. And there's no major cost difference other than the branding cost of putting Gucci on the side of an ordinary frame. Heat pumps have their place. Oh no, the heat pump tumble jars, no Jambo, because because of the lint in tumble jars, they just block up in no time, and they've not made them serviceable. They're a bad idea. Luxottica, as that's the Italian company. Oh, I ran a little poll on a technical forum of machine maintenance operatives, and they said, which country makes the worst machines? And in my head, I was thinking, I think it's Italy, but what else will other people think? So, of all the options, all the different countries around the world, including China, Italy won for the worst machines with 55% of the poll. And this is people who maintain this stuff all the time. Italy is all about looks, and the actual mechanical and electrical aspect of their stuff is terrible. Vince, the crew chief, which job was it? It might have been Eurovision. Just threw a whole load of lights off the job that came from Italy and were literally, when you screwed them up, they were just deforming under their own weight. It's just like, what is it with Italy that they do this? Dave Fab says, I have a 10 kilowatt solar and it produced 6 to 7 kilowatts a day for the last month. Well, that's good. Are you getting a lot of sunshine, though? And the German equipment is always over-engineered to the point of actually being overcomplicated because they just felt the need to over-design it. It's just what the Germans do. Oh, I remember the old NHS frames. The ones that broke and then you had to stick them together with tape. Poundland. Now try TV. Poundland, see the cheap reading glasses. If you guys are getting a bit older, right, but your vision's pretty good, but you're struggling to read now because your eyesight does go down from the age of about 45. Go into a dollar store or Poundland where they've got the little racks of reading glasses. They're like £1 or £2 a pair. Get something off a shelf in the vicinity like medicine with lots of small print and try and read it, and then try all the different glasses on the different magnifying strengths until you find one that at the correct distance, the text is really crisp. They're actually really good. Optically, they're just fantastic. Did you get new subscribers this week? I don't know. Poundland, why is this £3? Yes. And on the subject cars, Eric O of South Main Auto has not been happy. He's done a load of repairs and aftermarket parts have been arriving with just, defective out the box. Double the work. Stealth mode spiker is in the background. Aha. Throw an extra £10 she might sit in your face. It's worth asking. Are we talking opticians still? I'm not really sure. Or Poundland. 3% of total UK power demand today was supplied by solar. How much was supplied by wind? CG Wallwork. Oh, they're wanting to have a wind farm out in the sea where it's going to get a decent amount of wind flow, and all the Karens are up in arms about it. They're saying, no, it's going to ruin the view. They don't ever look out there. But anyway, it's these things rotate in the middle of the sea. It's going to ruin their view. It's going to ruin everything. And one said, well, I'm never going to have wind power. And I just pointed out, well, we're tied into the national grid, so some of your electricity is coming from wind. Well, I've talked to people and it doesn't, none of it comes from wind. Well, gee, they must be using different electrons then. Non-technical people making technical statements. Maybe it's me. Maybe we just have our own special wind-free thing. Maybe they got a wind filter. It's very sad that people object to windmills, yes. Try and just test a flying windmill. That sounds dangerous. 51.1% wind today. See, Scotland. In the flat in Glasgow, I can see out to the horizon. In fact, I was looking for pictures out my kitchen window on my phone and Google Photos, and I just typed horizon. It's the best way because you can see the horizon. And on the horizon are wind turbines, and even on a fairly mild day, they're giving it big licks. They generate a lot of power. Scotland often generates more power than it needs with wind turbines, but they're not allowed to sell it to the grid because it's all tied up. But I'm also pro-nuclear. We're surrounded by wind turbines here, says Craig. It will be excellent once they bring the price down. Indeed. Oh, and thanks all for the lift to the airport. It was appreciated, Craig. But it was fine. I got the bus. I had Glasgow city centre to myself, which is glorious. I took some pictures. It does total Gotham City at night. I love Glasgow at night. Nuclear is bloody expensive. Nuclear, you can buy nuclear reactors that are made in factories. They're small nuclear reactors. They're the ones they're talking about using in some of the AI server type farms. I'm fine with that. Compared to, it was all hype and hysteria because of things that happened in the past, but now it's all well managed, and nuclear waste can actually be reprocessed into other things, like diamond batteries. Not. Mr. Fusion. Yeah, we'll see when that happens, Chen North Air Guns. Evening all, missed the notification. Oh no, it's fine. There's still at least half an hour to go. Nuclear power is the only electricity source where careful attention is paid to disposing of the waste. Indeed, Redhead Forster. What was that image I saw recently? And it said, here's all the waste that was generated by this nuclear plant that powered so many homes for so long, and there were concrete tanks, just a small cluster of them that looked like oil barrels. Now, in the past, in the dark past in the UK, in the early days, we had British Nuclear Fuels, which was owned by probably government employees, and they disposed of the nuclear fuel in underground bunkers that then cracked, and then they went bust in a controlled manner, and then it had to be cleaned up, so they set up radiation cleanup companies, probably the same people involved. So double bow to the cherry. Lovely. Well done. That was a rant. And Cronus, as long as it's not minimum wage labour in white lab coats looking after them, definitely not Group 4, G4S, or Johnson Controls, or any of the other facilities management companies using goons off the street, giving them a slideshow and putting them in charge of a nuclear reactor. That we don't want that. Megawatt could have a nuclear-powered whoopee cushion. You could have a nuclear-powered rectal. I bet they've had that. Well, of course, you can buy the wands, the radioactive wands off eBay. I suppose you could stick those into your orifices and invigorate them with healthful ions. Fukushima. Yeah, see, that wasn't done very well. But I did some research recently. I mean, okay, I Googled it, which is research in a way, shallow research. I said, how much power in the UK is generated by coal? None. How much generated by oil? not much. It's gone nuclear and wind, maybe solar. Manx Utilities talk about buying land to put solar panels on. We don't get much sunshine now, man. Oh. Top of the hour toast to Sam from Look Mum No Computer. We could, Mouse, just because it's going to be an amazing shitfest when he does what he does on Eurovision. It's going to be great. How they're going to have all his gear in a way that can just be, because you know what Eurovision's like. My co-workers like to do the lighting in Eurovision, and every year they tell me the horror stories of how the pressure and like it was just not fun. It looked great, not fun. But if you've seen the acts, that they have the postcard where they show a wee snippet of video about, the next act's coming up and the country they're in. But what you don't see is look it up on YouTube. They're changing the whole set in that time because the whole thing is live on the same stage. It is top of the hour toast time. To Sam. To Sam at Look Mum No Computer, and this museum is not obsolete, and Eurovision. What a weird life he leads. What a great life he leads. Wild. Shout out to Nervous Squirrel as well, compatriot of Sam for Big Synthesizers. The British nuclear industry used power generation as a cover story for making nuclear missiles. Well, everything at its early days, Radio Rail. Callum says, I'm not against nuclear, maybe a selfish view, but Scotland doesn't need it. It's useful to have something as available as backup because the wind doesn't always blow. But it's windy. And Glasgow, while I was there, Nervous Squirrel is great. Andy has a great beard. Is it David? Can't remember. But he's got a great beard. His big synthesizer is big. He just got a big engine, V12. Megawatt Meister. Hydro. Scotland does have hydro, yeah. All the Karens in Isle of Man are like, why don't we have tidal power or hydropower? Well, because we don't have anywhere up there to put the water to come back down, and also the tide is mostly just lapping waves and then it's really major storm, and then it's lapping waves, and it's just not predictable. They don't understand anything. What was it recently? They're talking about putting a little extra seawall locally because we're getting overtopping of the harbour and it floods places. And someone said, why don't they just dredge out this river and that will mean the sea will be lower? Oh, why didn't we think of that? Totally not. Catherine is raiding with Party of Three. Greetings, Party of Three. Party? Can we use Cairns as fuel? No. And not because they'd smell like burnt pork, the happy little fox, but we can eat them. Just cut out the silicon bits. Oh no. Bad Wolf, I've had to shave my beard off because I've been working in a hot dairy food production area. What a disaster. Couldn't you have the snood that holds the beard out the way? What do I look without the beard? It would be this. The chin would look like this without the beard, incidentally. Just in case you wanted to know. Tidal is very predictable, but only used for a short period twice every day that does not follow a 24-hour cycle, indeed. Also, if you've seen, just take a look at Isle of Man weather recently. While I was away, roofs were going and waves were high. Walls were collapsing. The Bitbanger, someone sent me a picture. They'd asked AI to remove my beard and it made me look like Ralph, and it's like, no thank you. I spell it as Caron in an attempt not to be mean. That's reasonable enough because then, technically speaking, it's not someone's name. It probably is in India. Why nephew said his teachers cut their beards off for mental health? My nephew said, really? Ralph used to have a beard for a while. Can we put a Stirling engine over the House of Parliament? There's a lot of hot air going to waste. No, we should put a nuclear reactor above them with an open base. Karan is an Indian family name. I would expect it. It sounds it. Talking of which, my favourite food while I was across in Glasgow was once again the halal KFC behind Lidl on Victoria Street, Victoria Road. You always get huge portions of chicken. Much more than the city centre KFCs. Yeah, Rodders, whilst the sunken gardens were knocked down, the reason the sunken gardens are there is to catch water. They were originally to stop the hotels being flooded by acting as a sort of like pooling system and disrupt it, I believe. Don't know. I'm starting an actual blue-collar working job on Monday. I'm hoping. How long till I get a proper Clive beard? James Bandit, what is your work going to be? Oh, the fish lips are just horrible. The duck lip things were, it's just like, what? Why do they do that? I don't get that. Maybe it's because I'm gay. That'd be why. Thank you, Jonathan Anonymous, for subscribing. Thank you. I know 4 people called Karen, none of them fit that. I know one person called Karen, and she does fit it. Totally. Obnoxious biatch. Oh, it's gone weird in the chat. That's okay. Right. Okay. Welding a bit of fabrication paint spraying. That's good variety. That's good. Is that a sign company? It looks like it. Do you know who currently has a contract with the George Square Christmas lighting, Bad Wolf? I believe it's still Lightways street lighting. So if you want a job doing it, just apply, because it's just labourers anyway. No testing airflow, not such as aircraft the regular kind with... Oh, tubes made inside of holes. Right. Angle. Oh. It's always weird. It is always weird. Are you based in Isle of Man for tax purposes? No, Cracker Wax. I'm based in Isle of Man because I originally moved over here to look after my mum because she had Alzheimer's, and spent so long here that I just kind of established new friends and got used to living here. And the YouTube thing happened at the same time, and when I had to formalize my company and make it all limited, that's where it was here and kind of trapped here in a way. It's just the way it happened. It's not tax avoidance. I've just knocked over a little plastic cover here. That's fine. What the fuck is a hype train? Says Mr. Eggcake. It goes, woo woo hype. I don't know. I don't even know what it is. It's a Twitch thing. Handy though. I think so. But there's advantages and disadvantages. It has tax benefits theoretically, but it also has huge disadvantages because a lot of online businesses just don't recognise the Isle of Man. We're talking significant companies like Amazon and places like that. It causes huge problems. The wine is finished. We're on to the energy unicorn. YouTube has been giving me a diet of Rick and Morty recently. I have no complaints about that. Clive's millions are in the Cayman Islands. If only I had millions, that would be great. If only I had a million. If you look up the net worth websites, it says that I'm a multi-bazillionaire, and it's like, no, I'm not. It just makes things up. Now, though the Isle of Man exists, it's just not recognised for some reason. Even Google doesn't recognise the Isle of Man. If you mark your location as being on the Isle of Man, you can't monetize your channel on YouTube. you can't get a penny. No matter how big it is, you cannot monetize it. You have to mark it as being in the UK. Which courier delivers your AliExpress stuff? Either the Royal Mail or it's Every. Thank you for subscribing, Stuff Slacker. Clive's so rich he doesn't use bundle deals in AliExpress. Oh, I still use the bundle deals. Do you know, see, when I had earned a decent amount of money and was feeling more secure, like, as opposed to completely insecure when I first came across here, do you know the first luxurious thing I bought? It's so twee. I bought a prawn cocktail out of the local co-op, and that was a luxury item. I can remember that. Talking myself into it. Kusama, the Isle of Man does not have reciprocal tax arranged with the USA, which means I get charged significant quantities of tax in America, even though I don't live there. We've been receiving TV license threats at the first station, which is ridiculous because it's not manned and has no TV. Excellent. That's what they do. That is a luxury. It was wheezy peasy. It wasn't. It was mostly sauce and not many prawns, but you know, it was a luxury item. Even now, it's microwave meals. I do not. I mean, I'd guess most here are the same. Food is a functional thing. It's nice maybe to go to McDonald's for a burger. Nice to go to KFC and get some chicken, but ultimately, everything's functional. I mean, my joy in life is buying something like this and taking it apart and seeing what's inside it and fixing it up and then maybe using it or adding it to the huge pile of stuff. Overalls. Talking of which, last week was the week I learned that Jack Attack also likes the overalls. It must be a blue collar thing. Oh no, Philip Andrews. Just a prawn cocktail, no iceberg lettuce and no Pims. Just a sort of tangy mayonnaise sauce and the prawns. That was it. Mouse says, I recorded myself deceased with the TV license. They contacted me to confirm the name of the old license holder, so I stopped the DD. They've written to me maybe twice since then. You can just tell them you don't use a TV. When I arrived back in Glasgow, there was a threatening letter behind the door. I read it out in one of the streams. That's what I meant, Clive. If you were able to register as a YouTuber based in Isle of Man, the USA couldn't demand taxation from you. No. Unfortunately, the way they use it, they treat me as being an actor and that I'm being paid royalties in America when people view my content, and therefore it's actually Google who are taxing me at source because although I'm based in Isle of Man and they know I'm based in Isle of Man, they still have to tax me in America. Happens to everybody. Overalls are so practical. They are creme Bastila. They're comfortable and very, very manly. Food's a damn luxury. Shit's expensive. Indeed. Well, I was talking to some neighbours about this recently in Glasgow. Have you ever been through the noodle era when you're really struggling to pay your bills and every meal you have is the little cheap packs of the dried noodles made with hot water? I went through that spell. I have no regrets. I mean, that was fine. If anything, if you've got more money and you can afford to drink every day and you drink every day, it ruins it. At the moment, I've been on the keto diet. I've broken that completely this year. But the keto diet, because you're not allowed sugary things, when the weekend comes, I take the weekend off, it's so much more special. It actually feels, it's not like you're eating cookies every day. You get a cookie at the weekend, and that cookie just feels so much better for it. I still eat noodles, Megavoltmeister. Nothing wrong with noodles. My last meal in Glasgow was noodles with prawns. Real prawns. Scruff dog gearing up and getting into action. With his kitties. Even just buying basic stuff for sandwiches is expensive. It is. My sandwiches for work used to be a slice of processed cheese and a slice of ham. That was it. Cheese and ham sandwiches every day. It's just habit. What kind of overalls does Sam wear? Sam wears, Megavoltmeister, the older style of British Dickies. And the Dickies, the brand, is nothing like the American brand. In the UK, it's just basically Chinese-made clothing type stuff, just cheap clothing. But it's an older style he wears. Quite odd that he wears that style specifically. But the older Dickies style, that's what he's wearing. Udon noodles are quite nice, yes. Noodles are good. I like noodles. I like the noodle era. They're fine. Loads of people I've put peanut butter in the noodles too. It's quite good, Drunkula. In a way, it's like adding the sesame oil, but it mixes, it gives it a nice texture and makes it extra sticky. Gonzo, we have a poo food cupboard, basically camping food, but do dip in when too busy to cook. Hold on, let me show you some of the food I keep in reserve. It's mainly packs of the microwave rice, like this Tilda, the Caribbean rice and peas, which isn't rice, it's beans. But it's just I guess everybody's seen this. It's pre-cooked rice with a long shelf life that you just rip the corner just to act as a steam vent. Don't do what I did once and not quite rip it right, and it does go bang in the microwave. But then you cook it for 2 minutes and it's ready to eat. It's just like perfect bachelor food. Uncle Ben's original, it's like the most expensive. And apparently Tesco vegetable flavour couscous. Functional. The cheap offcut Sam's gone up to $2.25 a little. Everything is so expensive now. The Mexican rice from Aldi is nice. I do like the packets of the rice and also the mixed grains. It's just so convenient just to microwave it and eat it. It's just like astronaut food in a way, engineer food. It's just basically, I can't be bothered cooking a meal. This is just an instant meal. That's it. I did a poll about that a while ago. Do you cook meals or use microwave meals? And it's just, the technical family is mainly just microwave, just convenience food, because it's just, food is just food. Without it, you get thin and die. Random Jaeger, we could. To the utility workers we saw, Jack Attack. Worked out what those waterproof bib overalls they had were. They had two different styles. It was the waterboard, or was that a private contractor? I'm not really sure. So many options. And I do have Fire Bear overalls, yes, Jack Attack. Got some in amongst the huge collection. I make something brown every night for dinner, Michael. Buckley says, that's so suspicious. Is it a burger? As long as you're not eating poo, that's the main thing. I quite like cooking. It's another form of energy. Some people do put an awful lot of effort into cooking. I don't. The air fryer is very good. I've been liking fish fingers a lot recently and microwave meals. Bird's eye do bagged vegetable. You steam the microwave for a couple of minutes. That is very good pie float. Have had those that, and you get one big bag, but it's got lots of mini bags in it. I don't even know if you need to pierce them. I think they self vent. Hmm. Before COVID, I always got a hot lunch in the works canteen, says Naismith. Oh, it's a long time since I've worked at a place that's a canteen. The steelworks, fundamentally. I had so little time for a while, I bought a mini coffee pot and used that to make oatmeal before work. I put it on a timer the night before so it would be ready when I got up. I used to make my porridge the night before and then put it in the fridge and then just blast it quick in the microwave just to give it a bit of heat. Graham Rule, there's an Italian restaurant downstairs in my flat, faster than me microwaving food myself. That's reasonable enough. I would cook, but it's too hot all year round. Oh, that doesn't happen here. Salads and shit. Salads are good when it is hot, yes. The Subway salads are very good. Palace Chat, who was it was suggesting? It was my neighbours in Glasgow were saying, oh, you're eating fish fingers these days. Make yourself a fish finger sandwich. Indeed. I tried. They sell... Hold on, let me grab them. Tesco sells 10 omega-3 fish fingers, right? And they're made of Alaskan pollock. And that's what I get. It's about £1 a pack for 10. And they had cod fish fingers for £2 a pack of 10. So I thought, let's buy them and see if there's any difference. I couldn't tell the difference. It's fish. I mean, it's fish. Tartar sauce is nice, wheezy peasy. Wouldn't spend the effort making it, I'd just buy a bottle of it. But yes, it's nice. All the way from Alaska, indeed. Well, have you seen the videos of the Alaskan ships? They're basically, it's a factory, fish processing factory in the ship. And as it collects, it processes it and it all freezes it and it just ships it off as pre-packed foods. It's just relish in mayo. It is in a way wheezy peasy. It's chunky, but it's the chunky pickled gherkin. It's nice. I do like that sauce. Tartar sauce. The Co-op in the Gorbal sells fish finger sandwiches in the hot food cabinet. Do they? Didn't know that. Much prefer haddock myself rather than cod. They do a whole range. I mean, you get the Captain's Bird's Eye, but Captain Bird's Eye, whatever it is. You get all the different fish fingers, but ultimately, it's just fish in a crispy coating. Most of those fish fingers are just scraps. Yep. Not as bad as chicken nuggets, indeed. You can see where they've been glued together and with the stuff, but it's fine. All the industrial chores are like that. More efficient for them, it is. I wouldn't necessarily want to work in one because everything is wet and metal. It's not a great place to do electrical work. I thought Clive only ate pink salmon. The only time I'll eat salmon is when it's as part of a sushi pack, as a meal deal from the local Tesco, but I don't eat fancy stuff. Very, very plain. Like the rest of you, the majority of us have very, very basic needs. McDonald's is just poison. Brad Robshaw, no, no. Fillet of fish is very nice, thank you very much. Cyberlight, I had so much basil in the garden I made pesto the whole winter. I do buy pesto from time to time. I've got a bottle in the fridge. Not the fridge, in the cupboard. I do eat the Aldi sushi. It's fine. Mass-produced sushi, it's fine. Like I said, everyone's busy in projects and just forgets to eat. Like that time you say, God, I'm starving, and you open the microwave to put something in and, oh, there was your meal from earlier that you didn't actually remember. Or you open, in the morning, well, you open the air fryer and it's got your meal from last night in it. What do? Do you reheat it? I do. Just stick the air fryer on again. It's going to be a bit drier. Petrol station sushi is not fine. Sushi is sushi to me. McD fillet of fish tastes good, but it's gut rot. Probably Rhonda Plus, but it's fine. Little do whole see, I don't know if I could appreciate eating the whole fish. Or fish in general. Very, very trash. My meds make me stupidly hungry, says Mr. Eggcake. Wasabi and horseradish with green dye. Yes, I don't usually use the wasabi, to be honest, the paste. It's nice now and then. If it's been a closed oven undisturbed, yeah, it was cooked, so that would have killed everything, and then it's been in an enclosed area, so it should be fine. Smokable meds. Do you know that's what went through my mind, Matty England? The munchies. Cannywhack cheesy crumpets. I've not had crumpets in ages. Crumpets are a thing in the UK. How would we describe crumpets? It's like a flat cylindrical disc of bread, but with little bubble holes in it, and it takes butter very well. And quite chewy. Red beans and rice with fried fish bread pudding for dessert sounds good to me, Philip Andrews. Jaeger to Jerry Rafferty. Oh no. Hold on. If you get it wrong, you get it right next time. Scottish singer-songwriter. Oh no, he died in 2011. Oh, that was ages ago. But yeah, his music was good. I didn't realise he was Scottish. There you go. But we'll have a Jaeger, but we won't not sure. A Jaeger to all musicians, to all real musicians. And especially the ones that get fucked over by the record companies that took all the money and they did all the work. Endless tours, and they got a fraction of the money. Musicians, it's not a glamorous life. YouTube musicians like Frank Tedesco, what an amazing keyboard player he is. And the fact he can just listen to a tune and then play it with embellishments. He's so good, very much one of us. But because it's music, he can't make videos that actually earn money. It's terrible. All the work, none of the money. But some musicians do get money. Chicks get money and the checks for free, indeed. Hello, Comium. Or is it chicks for free? Can't remember. Baby eaters, Matty England. Delicious, yes. In Scotland, if they made baby burgers, they'd probably sell. Dire Straits, indeed. Well, when I go to the supermarket, I use the automated checkouts because they're more predictable and I just prefer dealing with machines. What's the time, says Liz? It is time for fire, Liz, I believe. Paul Saywood, YouTube acoustic guitarist. Crazy MTV shut down. They did, but kind of it's just, they can't compete with the fact you get music on demand off YouTube. Although the musicians I know, like famous musicians, they don't make a penny. I mean, it's like really they're gigging to actually make money. A good example of that is Soup Dragons. Their main biggest track was a cover of another band's track, and it was a big huge band, so they don't get any money from it. The Rolling Stones, I think their cover was. Anyway, that's how it is. Woofling. Yes, just as well the place is fireproof, really, isn't it? Alex Harvey. The sensational Alex Harvey, he's Scottish as well? I didn't know that. Your plunger needs greasing. It's a bit, I think that's the air. That's the air squirting through the valve. Ew, not a good thing to do. And that's why I've always got cracked skin. Went to see Atomic Rooster last night. Aha. Green Machine, thank you for gifting a sub. The IP Fireballs is great. They are very good, the isopropanol. And the good thing is they don't create much smoke because isopropanol burns very cleanly. Is that paint a tested fire product? The paint, the ceiling is fireproofed. It's got boron fireproofing, and the foam, the acoustic foam. Hold on, let's test that. Let's give it a test with the new blowtorch. This is the acoustic foam I have round here, and as I always say, if you're going to have acoustic foam in your studio, make sure it's flameproof. Self-extinguishing, so that when the flame is removed, lots of nasty smoke, but it self-extinguishes, because so many fires are caused in nightclubs by cheapskates installing cheap acoustic foam on the walls, and the flames, when they're lit inevitably by pyro, the flames just go straight up and it just engulfs the whole club in flames straight away. Terrible. And when you get your self-extinguishing foam from a prominent supplier locally, not from AliExpress, when you get it, test it. Test a bit of it first, and if it sustains flame, immediately just get back and touch them and say it's not self-extinguishing. I need a lighter like that for cigars. I'm going to have to keep this away from Ralph. He's so destructive when he gets things like this. Its red flame effect is dying down already. I think it's probably got salts on its little heating bits in there, and it's probably just wearing off. Don't know if it's just metal. Not even acoustic foam, it's packaging foam, the wavy stuff. This is actually acoustic foam. It's designed for, if that's what you're talking about here. But some of them did use like egg crate stuff, and some of them used just the wrong stuff and set place. Is that one of, they call them the plasma lighters, but it's just a ordinary gas lighter. It just looks really dramatic and lightsabery. But it is just a gas lighter that is fueled with butane. Anyway, now it is time to head over to Scruff Dog. So I'm going to raid Scruff Dog Live right now. Ever seen how they cut the egg crate foam? Is that the hot wire thing? Raid Skruff Dog Live. So, I shall catch up with you next week. Hope you have a good week. Take care and have fun, because we're about to raid Scruff Dog Live in approximately 10 seconds. Counting down. And I shall see you then. It was nice to have a stream that wasn't glitchy and interrupted. Raiding Scruff Dog now. And if you've not raided Scruff Dog yet, I shall catch up with you next week. Take care, have fun, and have a great week.